Okay, hello, good evening. Welcome to H3 Health, Hope, and Happiness. My name is Alan Friesen, also known as the Acapellist. With me is Brother Scott Sweetman. How you doing tonight, Brother Scott?
I've had a really crazy night about I've got family going up to a family reunion. They're picking up my mother to go to a hotel because they can't stay in the campsite with the rest of the family. I have about 38 cousins, so this is a big deal, right? And I booked a hotel online, but somehow about 20 minutes ago I got an email saying, "How did your check-in go, Scott Sweetman?" I'm like, it's tomorrow. So I
No.
checked and no, the reservation was for tonight, but
Oh,
somehow it got mixed up. But the online company, Expedia, sorted it out, got me a refund, made a way for me to rebook it. But yeah, it was stressful. I'm okay now. I've reasoned.
nice, nice, excellent.
You know how
Excellent.
it is with mothers, right? When you're a son, I'm like, oh, one more failure. So,
Yeah, yeah.
to all the moms out there, we try hard. We really do.
Exactly. But we're just men. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
like it's not our fault. We didn't get all those advanced features like feelings and brains. Anyway, how about you, sir? You having a good night?
I am. It's been a busy day, but it's been good. So, yeah. And happy to be here and have this conversation with you. Tell us about our topic for tonight, Scott. What are we talking about?
We're talking about the digital prescription revolution, navigating the rise of online health and wellness purchases.
Ooh, that's quite an impressive title, I must add. Think that.
Yeah, I worked for a while on that one. Um, what we're going to talk about tonight is, as you know, obviously, and I'm looking forward to getting some input because I know that you know a lot about online health services. Is the rise in prescription required online purchasing? And by that I mean everyone's pretty much familiar with online prescriptions, right? Um, it's not such a new thing, but almost anything now that requires a prescription, you can buy from an online source with a legitimate and confirmed prescription. And there's certainly safety measures in place to make sure you do have the prescription and the things get to the prescription. Have you ever ordered or it? And again, it's not just items, it's health services, right?
Yes, yes. I have ordered medical supports online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And how was the experience?
it was very good. Yeah, it was a nice, clean type thing. You go to their website, they want to see that you have the prescription. Then once you have the prescription, they fill your prescription, and then comes in the mail, and away you go. So yeah.
Well, and as our listeners, if you're new, you may not know, and if you can't see us, you cannot tell. But Alan and I are both of a demographic that traditionally are brick and mortar supporters, right? And we're definitely local, buy local supporters in our community, being business people here. And so we certainly support that. But there's advantages to purchasing online that just are really hard to ignore.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Especially like I mean the traditional or the textbook type classic thing is if you're on a maintenance medication, you have been on the same maintenance medication for years, you're going to be on the same maintenance medication. Having the discussion with a pharmacist, there is nothing to discuss really, right? So if it's more convenient for you to just get your mail order type prescription that gets dropped on your in your mailbox kind of a thing, you don't have to go into the store. You don't. It's just like it's a very seamless type of experience, right? So it saves you time, saves you going to the store, and while you're at the store buying other things that maybe you don't need while you're waiting for your prescription to be filled, eating that bag of chips when your prescriptions get filled, that kind of a thing. So,
I don't know why we keep getting a chirp in the background, but yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. I apologize if you can. But yeah, no, Al's exactly right. What got me on this topic is very recently I needed a new prescription. I've worn eyeglasses and or contacts since I was about 13 years of age. I'm the only one. Well, my mother and grandfather when they got much older, but I was the only sort of young one in our family that wore glasses. And we always went and got our glasses at, the most reasonably priced shop we could find. And, then when I was playing sports, I switched to contacts because I got hurt with my glasses getting broken into my face once. But as you know, probably, I'm in a wheelchair now due to an illness that I'm recovering
When did
from.
that happen?
Yeah. When did that happen? Somebody was at, not yesterday, 12 years ago or something. It's been a very long recovery. So don't give up, people. That's a side message. Recovery can be slow. You get sick really fast, but recovery can take years, but it's still worth it. In my opinion, don't give up.
Definitely.
Slow progress is better than no progress. And at times, slow progress is only possible by you trying as hard as humanly possible. So don't think just because you've tried so hard that it hasn't happened in a couple of months or a couple of years. I'm trucking over to the 12 or 13 year mark, and I'm still getting better every day. Every month I see improvement, more things I can deal with. So that's good. But back to our story. Tonight's story is my wheelchair is a little bit wide. I'm 6'2". I think last time I had a suit jacket made, I have like 52 to 56 inch shoulders. I got a little bit of a droop now that I'm older. So I'm a big dude, not to mention the weight and stuff from the illness. So my wheelchair's a little bit wide, but not, it's not like a truck wide. And I went to my local eyeglass shop. We're lucky in Lethbridge, we've got quite a few. Great doctor, fantastic. Wouldn't trade him for anything. Staff are exceptional. But my wheelchair would not fit in the store comfortably. And so when I went in to actually buy my glasses, we finally left in frustration because I kept having to add, the fitting desks were arranged that a person could walk through them, because eyeglasses take a lot of space to display, and then they need desks for the fitting and things. And I could get between them if there was no one sitting in the chair. But of course, there were people trying to buy their own glasses.
Sure.
And, if you have a mobility issue, it becomes really frustrating and embarrassing to say, oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me again. I want to go look over there. Oh, pardon me. Can I ask you to get up again? Yeah. And I left in shame or frustration. I don't know quite what my feelings were. Not to mention the frames were pretty pricey. I was a little surprised. They were, from $300 to $500 for the frames, which I thought they were beautiful, no question, but a little steep. So my daughters had ordered some lenses online, and this is not a preference or endorsement, from a company called Zenni. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a little experiment here. And so I ended up ordering 4 pair of glasses, 2 for me, a pair for one of my daughters, and a pair for one of my business colleagues who lives in the same place we do. And so there was different prescriptions. I ordered a pair of progressive lenses. For those of you that don't know, that's when different parts of your eyeglasses have a different focal point. So when I wear them and I look down, the power is low, but when I look far away, the power is high, because I look through a different part, right? Do you wear progressives, Al, or bifocals?
No, these are just straight on dollar store reading glasses.
Oh, well.
They're just like a +2.
Yeah.
And I actually wear them like all the time. Like, I'm not sure you're supposed to do it, but I do.
But you do go see an optometrist, right?
Well, I haven't for a while.
Yeah.
I had laser eye surgery.
Oh,
I'm going to say 12 years ago. So my long distance, it remains really, really good, right? So, but I've needed more and more magnification for reading, right? And that and screen type work, right? So yeah.
My optometrist calls them cheaters.
Cheaters. Yeah, sure. That's good. Yeah.
When I wear my contacts, I have multifocal contacts, but my prescription is so high they can't cover it all. So he sets them for long and medium. And if I have my contacts in, I have to wear like cheaters so I can read up close.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so I ordered a set of single vision glasses. I ordered 5 pairs of glasses. Yeah, 3 for myself, 2 of the other ones. Anyway, so 5 pairs of glasses. The total bill was under $500.
Okay. 5 pairs of glasses and under $500.
Yeah, and so I have bad prescription, -4.5 in one eye and 4 something in the other eye, with a bit of a torque and an astigmatism or whatever that is. Anyway, so I have to get high index lenses, or it looks like I'm wearing bottle caps, right? They're
Right.
really so
Yeah.
high index. For those of you who don't wear glasses, all it means is they use a special type of lens that's much thinner but provides the power of a regularly thick glass. And I would say they cost 5 to 10 times as much in my personal experience. Maybe that's incorrect, but not really an option for me. My glasses would be like falling off my face because of the weight of the glass, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, not cheap lenses. And then because I work on computers so much, I have to put on anti-reflective coating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The lenses were all about $20 a pair. I'm wearing them right now. These are my readers. They came today. And I have to say that the experience was good so far. You have to measure your own eyes. Most optometrists won't give you your pupil distance. I suppose if you specifically say, hey, I want to buy my glasses somewhere else, give me all the info, they might, but they have to measure them and do all sorts of things. If you order online, you typically have to do that yourself, right?
Okay.
The point being is that there was some homework in this. It wasn't just one and done. There was some which is, I think, why I've avoided it to this point.
Your glasses look good, by the way, Scott.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, and I put in all my parameters. I'm a man. I want this. I want that. And I had 1,500 choices, and I could try them on online. It used the camera of my phone, took a video of me turning my head, and then I could try on, if I wanted, all 1,500 pair. Right. And then I could choose lens, like colors and tints and all sorts of things. Anyway, and that was motivation for me because I have to wear glasses every day, all day, basically until I go to bed at night. Right. I'm pretty much blind except like from here.
Right.
And when you have to wear glasses that much, you get tired of wearing the same pair every day.
Sure.
Right. You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it was cheaper. The quality is good. I mean, yeah. It's funny because with this particular company, if you order Rush, it costs you about another $12 a pair. And I talked to them. If you do that, they're made in Ohio. If you just pay for them without Rush, they're made in China.
Oh, okay.
And nothing against people in Ohio. I showed horses there, Buckeye Sweepstakes. Hi, all you Buccaneers who might be listening to us in podcast land. I love Ohio, but the glasses that came from Ohio, one of the pairs was loose, and all of the pairs that came from China were exceptionally well finished.
Okay.
So yeah. But if you didn't want to support a foreign, well, I guess we're Canadian, so American government's for America's foreign. But if you didn't want to go overseas, you could pay the extras, my point. What I'm getting at is that mobility and people with health issues, shopping online is sometimes a necessity. It's not really a choice or a convenience, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If your mobility is a challenge, or you have to arrange special transport, or you have to rely on somebody who's going to drive you there, that kind of a thing. Those are all reasons where shopping at, online, having delivered right to your doorstep makes really good sense. Right.
Yeah. And the experience was positive. Are they as nice as the glasses that I spent $500 on one pair for? No. Right. Yeah. Like, they're lighter. There's not as much metal in them. I can see where the anodizing was a little bit uneven on the fit points. You probably can't see. I don't know if it'll focus on my glasses around the nose piece, but like they're solid. They're good for these pair cost me $70 lenses, anti-reflective, blue light block, whatever. So
they got pretty good anti-reflective too, because you're not getting basically any glare back.
No, except for the one light that's actually shining right at me. Yeah. They're a little bit better than my older glasses, which I got from Costco, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, the point is, online does have a lot of features, and it's becoming more and more popular, right? Convenience. The other side of that is, what are people worried about when they buy stuff online?
Well, if there's a problem with it, they have to return it, or if it doesn't fit, or whatever the issue is, it's not the right product for you in terms of its fit or function for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and even basic quality. And I do have to say, it took me, the ones that came from Ohio are loose, not so loose, but something I want to get adjusted. And of course, I can't get local service, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I looked online and they said, well, if your Walmart has an optician, Walmart has a policy to adjust any glasses for free and you could take them there. But I'd feel bad. Like if I didn't buy them there, then I'd,
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so I wanted to send them back, but I can't be without glasses, as I just said.
Right.
So, and the ones coming from China were the track your order hadn't changed in a week and a half. Right? And so I called in. It finally took me like 30 minutes to get through to somebody. And they're like, yep, no problem. Send the other pair back. And I'm like, okay, but I need to know within a couple days when the other pair is coming, because I can wear my old prescription for a little while. But the reason I got a new prescription is because I can't see the old ones, right?
Right.
And I went around and around and around. And finally I said, I'm really sorry. But the person said, I understand you, but they would not say, I don't know. And they wouldn't say a month from now. They just kept saying, if they don't arrive by June 21st, and this was June 12th, yesterday, we'll refund the money. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I went, and then funny as all get out, knock, knock, knock on the door today, the glasses show up. So service, I'm giving them like a 4 out of 10. Quality of the glasses, 9, maybe, 8.5. They're pretty good. Time will tell, right?
Yes.
So, and the number one, when I did the research, the number one concern with prescription medicals, if we call them that, from drugs to CPAPs to other treatment equipment, is safety and regulation, right? So if they're coming from a foreign country, do they have the same standards we have here in Canada?
Good question. And do they? Well, you've got to have CSA for things that are electrical, right? Has to have CSA approval, right?
Well, in the other, I went local recently for my most recent CPAP machine, and great experience. They had what I needed, and they were pleasant, and they, build our benefits and support local, and got to meet everyone face to face. And when there was a problem, the mask didn't fit right, they were like, oh, bring it down. We'll get you another one. And no, it was brilliant. Everything was perfect. Time before that, I had ordered a CPAP machine online, requires a prescription again. It was cheaper. I was debating whether it was significantly cheaper or just cheaper, somewhere in there, right? Like on a $2,000 machine, it was $180 cheaper, 200 maybe. So yeah, there's a trade-off, right? Like if I couldn't get down to the CPAP place, luckily this place is fully wheelchair accessible. They got a ramp and a big door and everything. If not, probably I would have gone online. But because they are, I would go here for my next one again. Right? Is that kind of your experience? You said you've used services before that were online. Are they better than in person or worse? Or
it was actually medical marijuana, so you can't go buy that locally.
Right.
If you need to have it where it's dispensed by the approved type of folks, right? So that you get a receipt that complies with that, you can claim it on your health spending account.
But let's be clear to people who don't understand, because I know that visitors to Canada would say that's crazy. You can buy marijuana anywhere in Canada. There's stores everywhere.
True.
That's different, right?
The difference is I want to be able to claim that purchase through my health spending account. I did want to be able to claim that through my health spending account. And to do that, I had to use the approved providers, who then you see a doctor, like a cannabis doctor, who, coaches you and assists you and, kind of checks in with you in terms of how you're, how that treatment is working, and guides you in that way. And then you also get a receipt that you can claim under your health spending account. And for those that aren't familiar with it, a health spending account, especially if you are a company owner, is a way to take a medical expense that you're going to incur anyways, shift it over to be a company expense with no taxable benefit to you. So it's an extremely valuable tool for whatever it is. Like, it doesn't have to be medical marijuana. It could be, anything, right? It could be, surgery that's required, etc. And it's really, we make sure that when we focus on that where it's not related to the person's ownership in the company, it's related to their position in the company. So, let's say they have a health spending account that is for senior managers with 10 years of experience, then they would provide, a level of benefit for that category of team members in their company, right? So, yeah.
Well, and that's a good question. And so we were, Alan and I, as often, our dear friends, Synchronicity and Serendipity, paid us a visit. And Alan asked me to check on, I do benefit care for our company. I look after providers and relationships with their clients. And if some of our major insurers covered online optics, right? And so we don't have optical on our coverage. So I couldn't get that exact information, but Fleur, my spouse, has Alberta Teachers Employee, whatever. I don't know who that is, Alan. You know who backs that up.
I believe it's called the Alberta School Employee Benefits Plan, I think is what their acronym is still, I believe.
Thank you. Yeah, if you've watched this show, you know that Alan has an incredible memory. Blows me away. Anyway, yeah, they will, but they turned down the first submission that my daughter submitted because the receipt didn't show the date, which they would have turned down if it was from anywhere, right? I mean, you need that information. So she's confident that they will cover it if the date's there, because the reply was, yeah, resubmit it with a receipt with the date and we're good. So we'll get that information. But yeah, when I see a pain specialist, and we talked about medical marijuana and CBD, because my older pug, had cancer, and a vet said, try her on CBD. And boy, it extended her life and her comfort by years, like just a few drops every day, twice a day, actually. And she had a tumor that had collapsed one of her lungs, and she was in pretty rough shape. But the CBD, we saw, really, if it was me, I would try it, like if I was in that situation. Anyway, my doctor also said that medical marijuana has to be processed to a certain standard, where the standards are relatively non-existent for like your local marijuana shop. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway.
I don't know either, but that is certainly what, the approved producers of medical marijuana do have more thorough descriptions of, like, all of the components in it, and the terpenes and the blah blah blah, all that kind of a thing, because they need that to be a regulated provider through the federal government, right? So yeah.
So one of the things that I looked at, and there's some great research, and I'll post it on the website when I post our podcast from tonight. And just as a note, everyone, our podcasts aren't available the same day because there's a delay with YouTube. Blame it on YouTube. So it's usually one day later that they show up as a podcast. But anyway, so the links will be there. But and there's some interesting ones. They, the findings about how consumers are making the switch, and the concerns and the positive features of those things. Cost savings, convenience and accessibility, customization, and ease of ordering are what it comes down to. The benefits of ordering prescription medical things online. The risk, quality and accuracy, lack of personal consultation, and return and warranty policies, right? Like, sure. With my glasses, they were really happy. They'll take them back for a full refund anytime within 30 days. 30 days plus 1 hour, and forget it. Yep. No discussion. They don't care if you're on your last dime or whatever, right? So those are the main things. We've covered those, but I started to research how ground-based or location-based companies in these areas are dealing with this, right? Because the research said it's growing. More and more people every year are turning to online prescription. Medication is huge. More so now, glasses, CPAPs, hearing aids. I didn't realize what a big business hearing aids is. They came online really early, like almost right after, or maybe even a little before, widespread prescription online.
Really?
Apparently, that's what the information said. I don't need a hearing aid yet, so I don't have firsthand experience on that. But yeah, one of the things that local shops can do is use online shopping to expand their reach, right? And I thought this was really interesting because we know a lot of our business colleagues here in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, where we live. They're, they have concerns about people shopping in Calgary or across the line in the US where certain things are cheaper,
You bet.
medication's not. And some interesting research came up about how businesses can add online business to their existing shop. And so I went looking, and there is an eyeglass company in Calgary, and they do exactly that. You can go into their locations, or you can shop online. There's a bit of a discount for shopping online, but and so then if you have a problem, you can bring it into their shop. They weren't as cheap as my Chinese glasses from Zenni, or even the upper priced American version of the Zenni glasses, but they were cheaper than just a strictly brick and mortar shop. And
So
I thought
was that Simply Optical? Is that what it was called? The one
I think that's what it calls. Yes.
Yeah.
And I found other companies where that's becoming prevalent. And so the research, I was saying that your local shop can really highlight their service and their locality, and that they're local, and you can go see them with a problem. But also, with more and more AI assisted and lower price consulting, it's not extremely difficult to take your business online. And something like the eyeglass company here in Canada, I think it's mostly in Western Canada. They have 6 or 8 stores. I can't remember exactly. They're selling the same product online that they sell in their stores. Give or take some special, right, online only or in-store only stuff.
So in that scenario, then kind of the advantage from the consumer side is that they could confidently buy online. If they did need an in-person adjustment, they still have the option to go to the store guilt-free, right? I mean, you said that there's others will do it just as a service, yes. But this way they could go and say, hey, I'm your customer and I'd like this adjusted, and you get a personal assistance with it. I would think as well, from the store standpoint, they could probably expand their offering, right? Have yes. a greater offering without having to hold that inventory and, pay the interest on the money they've got invested in inventory too, right? So I would think that would work well that way too.
Wayfair, drop shipping gets a bad rap if you're on social media, because it's been taken over by a lot of scamming. But there are businesses like Wayfair. They're an online furniture retailer, and they have no stock of their own, but they are one of the largest and growing larger furniture retailers in the world. And everything is drop shipped, or as it's ordered, shipped to their California distribution center and then distributed through North America. So exactly right. And so they don't actually pay money for their inventory. They don't have any. So I can certainly see where a business could expand their offering if they didn't have to hold it in inventory.
Yeah. Makes sense.
No. Because the glasses you see when you go in, somebody's paying for those, right, in some way. Where online it was all virtual. So I don't know for sure it was even a picture of real glasses or just a digitized drawing of one of them.
Right.
I didn't know, but fertility medication and services can be done online. Hormone medications can be done online. Skincare products in Canada, and also health supplements. There's been a bunch of hoopla in our government about the government wanted to change some features of supplements in healthcare, natural healthcare products that
Yes.
many people said would have been very bad for the industry. But again, it's helping Canada with becoming producers without having a large population in a localized area, right? Because online shopping or online prescription filling, if you're far up north in a small northern village and you need medical equipment, should you have to fly to a big center to get your pair of glasses or your pills filled and then fly back?
Yeah.
That's, not only is it impactful on the environment, I imagine it's rather impactful on your personal budget, just trying to get
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
your blood pressure pill or whatever it is. So
Yeah, it's an entirely different experience for people who live in rural areas. It's that much more valuable for those folks in terms of the online shopping and getting it shipped to your home address. Yeah.
and that's why when I pulled a research, Canada came up a lot because, as you know, we're a very big geographical area, but our population is not very dense,
No.
right? I mean, yes, what I can't remember the statistics, 60% of our population live within 20 kilometers of the border or something, but we don't have very many big mega cities, right?
No,
So,
you do not. No.
and so I can see that this would be a plus for Canadians. As I said, skincare. I didn't know that Canada had a skincare industry, but it does apparently. And it provides broader reach. And this is one of the benefits that, some of the government and private consultants are pushing, is that sometimes entrepreneurs in Canada are stifled because their market is small given our population.
Mhm.
And so, maybe for other things, they are going to have to compete with much bigger manufacturing conglomerates like t-shirts, right? I think it'd be hard for a t-shirt manufacturer in Lethbridge to compete with, big centers that can turn them out with very low wage cost and
Right.
low materials cost.
But
But
Go ahead.
no,
I was just going to say, I think we're wrapping up here, right, Scott?
yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say that although there is a benefit, and I think that most people realize the benefit to individuals in some cases, it's not anti-business, right?
Right.
Which
Right.
is a concern I know that we always worry about, and shopping local. So my assessment of where we're at with online shopping is it's worth giving a try and deciding if the risks. Be careful, make sure it's a legitimate company, make sure that they check their return policy, check their refund policy. I got scammed by a site not too long ago where they had a bunch of Google reviews, but I didn't notice that they were all posted on their website. It wasn't actually a Google review. So when I went outside of their website, their review average was 1 star, where on their website they were all 4 and 5 stars.
Oh, interesting.
There was some doctoring that had gone on there. So yeah, check your sources. But would you say a yay or a nay to ordering online?
Well, here's my opinion, Mr. Sweetman, and thank you for asking me.
That's why we're here.
I think in a perfect world, if you could be eyeball to eyeball with a medical or dental professional and have them guide you and assist you and assess your needs properly, then and give you good recommendations, that's the ideal. But for people who maybe don't have access to the right providers, or don't have, like, because of where they live, or don't have are mobility impaired, or that the whole transportation things becomes a challenge for them, then the online type supports are a valuable tool, and there may be a savings that's included with that, and there generally are things that you can still claim under your extended health program as well, right? You just have to make sure the documentation is correct, but that they, quality providers will make sure you get the documentation that you can still utilize your health benefit program to claim them. So
That's an excellent summary, Alan. As always, that nails it right on. Is that, like my situation, it's extremely difficult to, if I take the first pair that fit, yeah, I'm okay. But if I'm actually want to try on a bunch of different pairs or something, it's almost impossible from my experience recently. But there's pluses and minuses, and ideally we would all be able to meet with other people to provide the services and the personal attention that we all deserve, really, when it comes to our health and wellness and the things that are critical to our happiness and healthiness. So
exactly.
Right.
Take us home, Brother Scott.
Thank you very much to my good friend Alan Friesen, the amazing acapellist. Check out his singing show. He sings everything well. And myself, Scott Sweetman. Join us next week right here on our live video show or on our podcast.
Let's say 2 weeks, Scott. Let's say 2 weeks.
Okay.
I triggered some balloons. No, yes. Next week I'm going to be out of the country. So let's.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll adjust that. So in 2 weeks, visit us back here, same place, same time, and we'll have more amazing health, hope, and happiness tips.
And here's some hearts coming your way, brother. Okay.
Oh, thanks, man. To all of you out there,